They want to see you angry. They want you to react. They want you to destroy yourself trying to destroy them. But what if you didn't? What if you could break them without lifting a single finger? The greatest warriors, the strongest minds in history, knew the secret. True power is not in force, it's in control. This is how you destroy your enemies without ever fighting them. 1. The strongest weapon is a calm mind. Marcus Aurelius, the ruler of Rome and one of the greatest Stoics, once wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Your enemy wants you to lose control. They want you to react emotionally, to lash out, to make mistakes. The moment you let anger dictate your actions, you've already lost. But if you can remain calm, if you can think clearly while others panic, you become untouchable. This is why the greatest warriors, leaders, and strategists all train their minds before they train their weapons. A man who can remain composed under pressure is a man who can outthink, outlast, and outmaneuver any opponent. Weak men are slaves to their emotions. Strong men make emotions their slaves. Which one are you? The next time someone provokes you, pause. Take a deep breath. Ask yourself, is this worth my energy? Or is my silence the greater victory? 2. Master the art of indifference. Epictetus said it best. If someone succeeds in provoking you, realize that your mind is complicit in the provocation. Think about that for a moment. If someone offends you, disrespects you, or tries to get under your skin, it only works if you allow it to. Your anger, your frustration, your emotional reaction, it's not caused by their words or actions. It's caused by your decision to let it affect you. Your enemies thrive on your reaction. They want you to lash out. They want you to lose control. They want you to be ruled by your emotions because an emotional man is a weak man. Predictable, easy to manipulate, easy to control. But what happens if you refuse to play their game? What happens if their words, their insults, their attempts to provoke you mean nothing? The answer is simple. They lose all power over you. This is the essence of Stoic indifference. Not ignorance, not avoidance, but a conscious decision to remain unaffected. You do not ignore reality, but you refuse to be emotionally controlled by it. It doesn't mean you don't notice the insult, the disrespect, or the provocation. It just means you refuse to let it dictate your state of mind. Indifference is a weapon. When you stop caring about petty attacks, you become untouchable. Your silence is more powerful than 1,000 words. Your lack of reaction is more devastating than any counterattack. A powerful man does not explain himself. When someone insults you, don't defend yourself. Don't argue. Don't try to prove them wrong. Simply smile, nod, and move on. Nothing frustrates an enemy more than being ignored. A lion does not turn when a dog barks. Be the lion. 3. Control the battlefield by controlling yourself. Sun Tzu, the legendary strategist, once wrote, "The supreme art of war is to subdue the enemy without fighting." This is not just military strategy, it is Stoic wisdom in action. The greatest battles in life are rarely won with fists or swords. They are won with discipline, patience, and control. Most people fight the wrong war. They try to control external events, to force others to submit, to bend the world to their will. But true power does not come from dominating others. It comes from mastering yourself. When you control your emotions, your thoughts, and your reactions, you control everything. You become unpredictable. You become untouchable. You control the battlefield because you refuse to be controlled by it. Your enemy expects you to lash out. They expect you to react emotionally. They expect you to be reckless, to make mistakes, to play into their hands. What happens if you don't? You disrupt their entire strategy. You take away their leverage. You force them into a position where they can no longer control the game. This is how wars are won before a single blow is struck. A man who is ruled by his emotions is easy to manipulate. But a man who is calm, calculating, and disciplined, he is a nightmare to his enemies. The next time you feel provoked, ask yourself, am I acting out of emotion, or am I making a calculated move? Always choose strategy over impulse. A warrior who controls himself controls the outcome. 4. Let your enemies destroy themselves. Seneca reminds us, A man is as miserable as he thinks he is. Sometimes the most devastating blow you can deliver is no blow at all. A weak man destroys himself with his own emotions, his anger, his jealousy, his obsession with revenge. And the best part, you don't have to lift a finger. Your enemy wants your attention. They want you to react, to engage, to step onto the battlefield they have chosen. But what happens when you refuse? They are left to fight a war with themselves. Their resentment festers. Their hatred consumes them. Their energy is wasted on plotting against a man who simply does not care. The greatest mistake you can make is believing that revenge will set you free. It won't. It will only keep you chained to the very people you seek to destroy. The more you focus on your enemies, the more power you give them. Instead, let them collapse under the weight of their own bitterness. While they burn with rage, you build. While they waste time plotting against you, you move forward. While they fall into insecurity and obsession, you become untouchable. This is how you win without fighting. Every time you feel the urge to retaliate, ask yourself, does this serve me? Or does it keep me trapped in the same cycle as my enemy? Break the cycle. Let them drown in their own hatred. You have bigger things to do. 5. Speak less, observe more. Marcus Aurelius, one of history's greatest rulers, left us with this wisdom. Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one. Most people talk too much. They argue, they defend, they explain themselves endlessly, without realizing that every word they speak is a weapon that can be used against them. Your enemies want information. They want to know your thoughts, your fears, your next move. And the more you speak, the more you hand them exactly what they need to attack you. A man who talks too much is a man who is easy to manipulate. But silence? Silence is unpredictable. It forces others to guess what you're thinking. It makes them uncomfortable, uneasy. They start talking to fill the void, and in doing so, they reveal themselves. In any battle, whether in war, business, or personal conflict, the one who observes the most and speaks the least has the upper hand. A king does not explain himself to peasants. A strategist does not reveal his entire plan. Power belongs to the man who listens, watches, and acts with precision. Let others talk. Let them expose their weaknesses, their insecurities, their desires. While they waste energy trying to impress, trying to be heard, you will be gathering intelligence, calculating your moves, and staying 3 steps ahead. In your next conversation, resist the urge to fill the silence. Say less. Listen more. Watch how people scramble to reveal their own intentions when you stop trying to impress them. Powerful men are not loud. They are deliberate. Be deliberate. 6. Build a life so strong that your enemies become irrelevant. Marcus Aurelius, the most powerful man of his time, gave us this truth. The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury. Most people waste their lives in petty battles, obsessed with proving a point, getting the last word, or seeking revenge. But here's the reality. The strongest warriors don't fight meaningless wars, they outgrow them. Imagine a lion being barked at by a dog. Does the lion stop and bark back? No. It keeps moving unbothered because it knows its power. That is the mindset you must adopt. Your greatest victory is not in retaliation. It is in elevation, rising so high that your enemies can no longer reach you. A man focused on revenge is a man controlled by his enemy. He is still thinking about them, still reacting to them, still allowing them to influence his path. But a man focused on his own strength, his own discipline, his own empire, that man is free. So ask yourself, would you rather waste energy battling those beneath you? Or would you rather use that energy to become so powerful that their opinions, their insults, their very existence becomes meaningless? Success is the only response that truly matters. Focus on your goals. Focus on your discipline. Let your actions be your greatest weapon. Because in the end, what can your enemies do to a man who refuses to be controlled? 7. Turn every attack into an advantage. The weak crumble under opposition. The strong use it as fuel. Seneca once said, "Difficulties strengthen the mind, as labor does the body." Understand this. Your enemies are your greatest teachers. Every insult, every obstacle, Every betrayal is an opportunity. While others see hardship as an excuse to complain, a Stoic sees it as an opportunity to grow. Think of a skilled fighter. If his opponent throws a punch, does he just stand there and take the hit? No, he redirects the force and turns it into an advantage. The same applies in life. If they slander you, let their words remind you to master your emotions. If they challenge you, let it push you to become sharper and more strategic. If they try to break you, use their attempts as motivation to become unbreakable. Remember this: your enemies are not obstacles, they are stepping stones. Let them try. Let them hate. It only makes you stronger. So the next time someone tries to bring you down, smile. Because what they don't realize is this: they are only pushing you higher. 8. Make them fear your absence. Most people believe power comes from being aggressive, from always asserting dominance. But the truth is, one of the greatest weapons you have is your absence. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." The more you engage with your enemies, the more power you give them. The more you argue, the more you acknowledge their influence over you. But what happens when you disappear? When you stop giving them any attention, they are left with nothing. No one to argue with. No one to feed their hatred. Their insults, their attacks, suddenly meaningless. The powerful do not chase. They do not beg for approval. They do not seek validation. And they do not waste time proving themselves to those who don't matter. When you remove yourself from pointless battles, when you silence your presence, you create something far more powerful: mystery. And mystery breeds fear. They will wonder, what is he planning? Why isn't he responding? Why doesn't he care? And that is when you have truly won, because now they are the ones obsessed with you. Let them wonder. Let them fear. Let your silence be the loudest answer. If this message resonated with you, subscribe to Stoic Clarity. Drop a comment. What's the one Stoic principle you will apply today? And if you know someone who needs this wisdom, share this video with them. Remember, true power comes not from fighting, but from mastery. Stay strong. Stay disciplined. And I'll see you in the next one.